The truth is finally out, and the high-priced lawyers at the network never saw it coming. Garcelle Beauvais has officially terminated her production clause, and the fallout is destroying everything in its path. The receipts show that Garcelle was done being a pawn in a game designed to make her look like a villain. The contract proves she had a secret weapon that the other ladies could only dream of. That weapon was her own company, and she used it to cut the cord once and for all. The drama started when the camera stopped rolling at the most recent reunion. Garcelle did not just walk off the set because she was angry. She walked off because her legal team had already drafted the paperwork to end her time in Beverly Hills. The truth is that the production team was trying to trap her in a narrative she did not agree with. They wanted her to participate in manufactured fights that were damaging her real-world brand. But Garcelle is a professional who has been in this business for decades. She knows exactly what was hidden in the fine print of her talent agreement. Most people do not realize that these reality TV contracts have a specific section called the Production Cooperation Clause. This clause basically says the star must do whatever the producers say to keep the story moving. If they want you to sit down with someone you hate, you have to do it. If they want you to bring up a sensitive topic on camera, you have to do it. But Garcelle found the loophole that is now sending shockwaves through the entire industry. The receipts show that she leveraged her independent production company to create a shield. She was no longer just a cast member who could be pushed around by a producer with a headset. She was a business owner with a first-look deal at the highest levels of the network. This gave her the power to say no to the toxic mandates that have ruined so many other careers. The audit of her brand shows that Garcelle was actually losing millions by staying on the show. While her salary was one of the highest on the cast, the damage to her reputation was costing her even more. She was losing out on major acting roles in high-end brand deals because of the messy drama on screen. The contract proved she had salary escalators that would have paid her even more for season 15, but Garcelle walked away from that money to save her soul. The truth is that the villains in the production office were panicking when they saw the termination notice. They thought they had Garcelle locked in for another year of chaos. They wanted to use her personal life and her children as plot points for the upcoming season. But Garcelle saw the trap, and she closed it before they could snap it shut. The receipts show that she was done being the most grounded person in a room full of people who were losing their minds. The meltdown behind the scenes at Evolution Media was total and complete. They realized that without Garcelle, the show was losing its moral center and its biggest bridge to the audience. But what happened next was even more shocking for the executives. Garcelle did not just leave the show quietly. She made sure that her exit was a legal masterpiece that protected her from any future lawsuits. She used the specific language in her first-look deal to argue that the show was a conflict of interest. She claimed that the mandated drama was interfering with her ability to produce high-quality content for the network. This was a chess move that no other housewife has ever been able to pull off. Most of them are desperate for the paycheck and will do anything to stay on the air. But Garcelle showed that she is a different breed of star. The receipts show that she was tired of the fake friendships and the even faker legal threats from her castmates. She saw how the network handled the dark situations involving other cast members, and she wanted no part of it. The truth is that the environment had become so toxic that it was starting to affect her health and her family. Her sons were being targeted by the algorithm, and she knew she had to get them out of the line of fire. The contract shows that Garcelle had the right to audit the production's use of her likeness. When her lawyers started digging into the footage, they found that the producers were intentionally editing her to look like she was hiding things. But the raw files showed a completely different story. The truth was that Garcelle was the only one being honest, while everyone else was playing a character. The receipts were about to go public, and the network knew they had to let her go. The final straw happened during a closed-door meeting where the producers tried to force her to film with someone she had already blocked. They told her that her contract required her to attend every group event, but Garcelle pulled out her own production agreement and showed them that she was technically their peer, not their employee. This was the moment the power shifted, and the villains realized they had lost their grip on the narrative. The cost cost of this meltdown for the network is going to be massive. They're losing a fan favorite and a woman who brought actual prestige to a show that is often seen as trashy. But for Garcelle, the victory is absolute. She walked away with her head high and her bank account full. She did not need the show to be famous because she was already a star before she ever stepped foot on that set. The receipts prove that the other ladies were jealous of her success from the very beginning. They tried to bring her down with rumors and lies, but Garcelle always had the facts on her side. She never stooped to their level, and she never let them see her sweat. The truth is that Garcelle was too good for Beverly Hills, and everyone knew it. The contract termination was just the final nail in the coffin for a franchise that is rapidly losing its relevance. When you look at the forensic breakdown of her final months on the show, you see a woman who was carefully planning her escape. She was documenting every time a producer tried to manipulate her. She was recording every conversation that felt like a setup, and when the time was right, she handed all of that evidence to her legal team. The network had no choice but to sign the termination papers and let her walk away into a much brighter future. But what happened next was even more shocking for the cast members she left behind. They thought they could just replace her with another actress and keep the drama moving, but the audience has already started to turn on the show. The truth is that Garcelle was the only reason many people were still watching. Without her, the show feels like a hollow shell of its former self. The receipts show that ratings are already starting to dip as fans realize the most authentic person is gone. The villainous behavior of the production team has finally caught up with them. They thought they were untouchable and that they could treat their stars like disposable objects. But Garcelle proved that if you have the talent and the business sense, you can beat the system. She is now focusing on her own projects and producing movies that actually mean something. She is no longer wasting her time arguing about who said what at a dinner party. The final audit of Garcelle's time in Beverly Hills shows a perfect record of professional behavior. She never missed a filming date and she never broke her word. But when the network failed to protect her and her family, she knew it was time to exercise her rights. The receipts show that she gave them every chance to fix the situation, but they chose ratings over respect. Now they are paying the price for that decision. The truth is that the legal battle was over before it even started. Garcelle's team was so prepared that the network's lawyers didn't even try to fight the termination. They knew they had violated the spirit of the agreement, and Garcelle had the evidence to prove it. The contract was shredded, and Garcelle was free to pursue her real dreams. The villains are left with a show that is crumbling and a cast that is more divided than ever. The receipts were about to go public, and they would have revealed just how much the producers interfere in the real lives of the cast. Garcelle was the only one brave enough to stand up and say that it was not right. She refused to let them turn her life into a soap opera for a few more clicks. The truth is that she has more integrity in her pinky finger than most of those people have in their entire bodies. The final nail in the coffin was a letter sent to the network executives that outlined every single contract violation. It was a forensic masterpiece that left no room for interpretation. Garcelle was done, and there was nothing they could do to stop her. She had already moved on to bigger and better things, while the rest of the cast was still stuck in the same cycle of fake drama and real misery. The truth is finally out, and Garcelle Beauvais is the one who came out on top. She showed everyone that you do not have to sell your soul to be on television. You can be a lady and a boss at the same time. The receipts show that her brand is stronger than ever, and she is finally getting the respect she deserves. The villains can keep their drama while Garcelle keeps her dignity. The meltdown is far from over for the people who tried to control her. They are now facing questions from the higher-ups about why they let their biggest star walk away. They have no answers because the truth is that they were greedy and manipulative. They thought they could break Garcelle, but she was the one who ended up breaking them. The contract proved that she was always 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the room. The final line in her termination notice was a clear message to everyone in the industry. It said that she would no longer be a part of any production that required her to compromise her values. This was a shot across the bow for every reality TV producer in Hollywood. It showed that the days of treating talent like property are over. Garcelle Beauvais has set a new standard, and the receipts show that she is leading the way. As the dust settles on this massive legal battle, one thing is very clear. Garcelle Beauvais did not just leave a reality show. She dismantled a system that was designed to fail her. She proved that the truth is more powerful than any script or any producer's agenda. The receipts show that she is the ultimate winner, and the villains are left with nothing but their own lies. The cost of their deceit was the loss of the most valuable person on their roster. They traded a long-term partnership for a few short-term headlines, and it was the biggest mistake they ever made. Garcelle is now the architect of her own career, and she is building something that will last a lot longer than a season of television. The truth is that she was never a housewife to begin with. She was always the queen of her own empire. The final nail is that Garcelle is now more successful than ever without the show. Her movies are hits, and her production company is booming. She is living proof that there is life after reality TV, and it is a lot better when you're in charge. The villains are still trying to figure out what went wrong, but the answer is simple. They tried to play a game with a woman who already knew all the rules. The receipts show that Garcelle Beauvais is finally free, and the network is the one in a state of total career meltdown. They lost their star and their credibility in one single legal move. The truth is that Garcelle did not just walk away from the table, she flipped the table and took the house with her. The cost of their lives was everything, and Garcelle is the only one who didn't have to pay a cent.